This stage of the competition, the round of 16, for some reason has been a stumbling block for Arsenal in the past. You played in some of those teams that got knocked out at this round of the competition. Why do you think that was?
Because it's really difficult to win in European competition. The competition is very big. When I was a player, we get out twice with Barcelona, with Bayern Munich. I think the last time we were in the competition was 2014, so it's been a while since then. And that's why every detail is important. The games are really tight. Details and individual performances are hugely important. And tomorrow you're going to have to be at your best to win the game.
How much of your own experiences as a player playing in this competition can you pass on to your players who are now getting ready to play a huge game, because this group, your players, have never played in this stage of the competition yet together?
But I think you have to go through it yourself, and those experiences mark you. As a coach, you look at things in a very different way, but you are really aware, especially that it has to be us. I want to see my team there doing what we normally do, and the rest we cannot control. What the opponent is going to do, the atmosphere, it's things that you cannot control, but certainly what we can control is to be ourselves.
Can you mentally prepare your players for an occasion as big as this?
I think it's very important they understand the context of the game. So what to expect, what type of team they are, what type of club they are, what type of atmosphere you're going to do that. And then make very clear, like always, is the game that we want to play and how we're going to make sure that we play in our strengths, and that's it.
And you come into this game off a brilliant run of form, 5 wins since the start of the year. Do you feel like you have the momentum right now?
We have, certainly, and the team is in a good place, individually and collectively, and we have to maintain that, and we have to play with that confidence, with that trust, and come away to this round with a real belief that we can do it.
Those wins, as well as the amount of goals you've been scoring, surely must breed so much confidence in the players. Have you felt that? Have you seen it?
Yeah, you can sense it. Winning games is the best medicine to anything, and when the team it's just happening, it's fluid, the movement, the understanding, the connections between them, the goals are getting. We've been keeping clean sheets and conceding very little, and that's what we're aiming to do in every game.
The last 2 away matches, 11 goals scored. This is a tough place to come, though. Yeah. How are you preparing the team for a match like this against what are tricky opponents?
Very tricky, really prepared with huge experience, and we know that. But again, try to prepare the team with the confidence and the belief that we have to do what we do, and the opponent has to adapt to that and take the game into that as much as possible, because it's our biggest strength.
And in Porto, their captain, Pep, 40 years old. It's incredible, isn't it? He has so much experience. In comparison to that, as we've already touched on, this group of players haven't played together at this stage of the competition. How far can that experience take Porto, with him leading his team?
I don't know. Obviously, the career that Pepe had is unbelievable, and the success, and to be playing at the level that he's playing at that age tells you that he's a role model and someone that you have to look at. At the same time, we are building something. Those players, as you said, never played a game like this, and it's the first time. But as well, I can sense the excitement and how much they really want it, and that energy is something that it can be really, really positive as well.
Despite everything we've said about this being a unique new experience for a lot of your players, Arsenal at this stage of the competition is still one of the favourites. We spoke to some of the Porto team earlier, and they were quite excited to be facing a Premier League team. What's that like for you guys coming into a match like this, where you know you're the team to beat?
Well, we are the team to beat, and they are the team to beat as well. For us, it's exactly the same. It's about this game, and as I said, focus on the performance, on being us, and arriving to the game with that emotional state that you cannot get yourself seated because you really want to play. You have that desire to play, and if we play like that, we have a good chance to win the game.
So much has been learnt over the last year from last season's Premier League campaign, but how different is it preparing for knockout football? What can you take from last season's Premier League campaign into this? Is it different preparing for knockout ties?
Yeah, it's very different. There are 2 games, and you have to play the first one. You have to understand the opponent. You don't have that much knowledge about the individuals and what they do, so it is different. But we have experienced that in knockout stage as well. Went to places like Lens, went to Seville, which is a very similar place as well in many senses. So we have gone through a bit.
With that in mind, how important is it that you take full control of this tie starting tomorrow?
That's what we want, and come here and be dominant, be ourselves, and try to dictate the game. And that's the purpose of the team for sure.